Jon Krakauer stories of real-life, seemingly impossible challenges became bestsellers. They include Into Thin Air and Into the Wild. But his latest books aim for steeper aspirations. He is shining a light on rape in college towns, including Missoula, Montana.
60 Minutes Sports on Showtime first introduced us to Kelsey Belknap. In 2010, she tried to get police to arrest 4 University of Montana football players. She says they raped her while she was drunk. Investigators refused to go further after asking Belknap if she thought the players may have thought she gave consent. Belknap talked with correspondent Armin Katayan in November.
We were told that this particular part of that paragraph regarding the consent issue, the police chief told us it was the dagger in the case. It was the aspect that killed it. Looking back on it now, how do you feel about that?
It pisses me off a little bit.
In what way?
The fact that I was persuaded, almost, that I feel persuaded to say that, because I have no idea what they're thinking. I'm not a mind reader. I was literally thrown, all of these questions are coming at me, describe the situation. So I'm having to relive this again 2 days later. 2 days later. Terrified, I'm nervous wreck, trying to keep myself together, not to cry, to be tough.
Jon Krakauer's new book includes Belknap's story and other accusers who tried to hold their alleged attackers accountable. It is called Missoula, Rape and the Justice System in a College Town. Jon Krakauer, it was so good to see you again.
Thank you.
Rape is not just a problem in Missoula, but many places. Why focus the book there?
Missoula represents the country. Its rate of rapes is a little lower than national average. It's a beautiful town. It's not some outlier. And I was looking at many cities when I was considering this book, and I happened to go to a sentencing hearing in Missoula, and the victim was so powerful, Allison Huguet, on the stand, standing up to this really aggressive, browbeating defense attorney, that's the moment I decided, wow, I could write a book around this woman. I'll set it in Missoula as a case study. Missoula is a wonderful place. I mean, I would love to live there myself, but it represents a huge problem nationwide.
And are these problems that have been there, but nobody was stepping forward to prosecute, and there were extenuating circumstances that were attached to them?
That's right. This isn't. There's no rape epidemic going on. This problem has always been there, beneath the radar. Women now are starting to come forward and use their name, so it's gaining attention. And the Department of Justice investigated Missoula, the police department, the prosecutor's office, and the university because of courageous reporting by a local Missoula reporter in the local paper, Gwen Florio in the Missoulian. And that's what brought it to my attention. That's what brought it to the government's attention.
So where is Missoula today?
Missoula, because of the DOJ investigation, the police department is, I think, really good now. They've made huge improvements. They started making them even before the DOJ investigated. The university has gotten better. It still uses privacy laws to cover up what assailants are doing. The prosecutor's office has a problem in that the main reason for their problems was a deputy prosecutor in charge of sexual assaults who left the prosecutor's office just before the DOJ started investigating to defend a quarterback accused of rape. She successfully kept him out of jail, got him acquitted, and then she ran for county prosecutor. So now she's the district attorney in Missoula, and this is a woman who has shown a great reluctance to prosecute anything other than a slam dunk that's totally obvious. She is now in charge of the whole prosecutor's office.
And that was one of the more fascinating things in the book. But it's so much bigger than Missoula. You said this crime is much more common than we know, and you talk about rape myths, and I think it's so important to put that out there, Jon.
Yeah, let me begin by saying, so there's the various studies that 1 in 5 women in their lifetimes will be raped. That's from the Centers for Disease Control. Some people say it's less. It's hard to know because 80% or more, at least 80% of rape cases go unreported. But we know it's hugely widespread. So why are they so reluctant to report it? Well, it's because the way they are treated in criminal trials by universities, because there's all these myths that,
they're creepy, dangerous strangers, right, the rapists.
85% of rapes happen, the rapist is an acquaintance, often a close acquaintance of the victim. It's not the guy who jumps out of the bushes, it's the guy you've trusted your whole life. That was the case for Allison Huguet. It was her best friend since kindergarten. She'd never been romantically involved. She woke up one night to him raping her. I mean, that is the reality of rape in this country. And there's all these myths that if a woman is being raped, she'll fight to the death. You know, if she didn't, oh, well, that proves she must have wanted it. Well, that's nonsense. Women, there's many reasons that the trauma of being penetrated in your most private parts by another person is so different than other kinds of trauma that it changes the brain chemistry. There's good science, irrefutable science.
In one of the cases, the woman who, after she was raped, she drove the rapist home.
That's right.
Which police then used against her.
That's right. The defense attorneys for the quarterback used that against her. But in fact, the psychologist who was an expert witness, Dr. David Lisak, pointed out that that's pretty common. He's seen that a lot, just that kind of
So
thing.
the question is, why do they do it? Why do men rape? Is it about power, control, or is it about sex?
It's about all of those things. They mostly do it because it's so easy to get away with it. In 90% of the rape cases, the rapist gets away with it scot-free. No accountability, no jail time, no charges. So that's why they do it, because it's so easy. And what's interesting is a lot of these rapists subscribe to the same rape myths, like it's only the guy in the bushes. So a lot of these rapists, studies have shown, don't think of themselves as rapists. I'm a nice guy. I can't be a rapist.
I was drunk.
Yeah, what's scary is that, you know, many of these rapists who have been convicted, if you saw them walking down the street, they could be working next to you in the next cubicle. They're nice guys. They're friendly.
What did you think about the Rolling Stone case and the Duke lacrosse case, where in both cases it was not what it appeared to be?
In both those cases, the victim lied.
Right.
You know, and it was a terrible thing. It was very discouraging.
But how common is that?
It's between 2% and 10% of men who are accused of rape or charged with rape are falsely accused. That's actually about the same as other crimes. So what's different is in rape cases, the victim is usually the one under suspicion. In most crimes, the victim is believed. In rape cases, the victim is the first person the police and prosecutors doubt. That's the big difference.
I'll bet they're not interested in seeing you in Missoula, but you're going there.
I'm going there. I feel like I owe it to the people of Missoula to ask me questions. I want to answer my critics. So.
And I've seen Jon respond to some of these questions in these forums, and I know you will, and it should be very interesting. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Jon.
Very important book, John. Very important.
Thanks for having me.
The book is called Missoula. It goes on sale now, right now.